Howdy folks, I'm Harry White M. Hairstreak, hastily harnessing hangry honeybees.
I'm Amber.
And here are more hangry honeybees for us to harness. What we're doing is we are building chariots with bees on them, and as butterflies flying in that chariot powered by bees, like reindeer, like very small reindeer. Let's get started.
I love that.
Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Getting a Tattoo of My Mom in a Bikini. My dad passed away a few months ago. I was really close to him and I miss him a lot. My dad had quite a few tattoos, but one of them I remember dearly. It was a pinup style tattoo of a lady in a Hawaiian skirt and a coconut bra on his calf. I always liked that tattoo, even though it was pretty badly done. Most of the color vanished over the years, and I remember our dad letting us color in the tattoo with markers when he wanted to take a nap and keep us busy. Well, my mom always disapproved, and I never understood why until now. One day, about 2 weeks after he passed away, I was walking around the city and I came by a tattoo shop. One thing led to another, and I walked out of the shop with the same tattoo that my dad had, the lady with the coconut bra. The artist did a great job at recreating that tattoo, and I was very happy, until I got home and wanted to show my mom. Well, my aunt was there, my dad's sister, and started laughing like crazy. My mom looked quite shocked, not the reaction that I was expecting at all. I didn't understand what was happening until my aunt told me, well, now you've got your mom on you forever, in a skimpy outfit, great choice. Well, long story short, my dad got this tattoo about 1.5 years after they started dating. She wore this outfit to a party, took a photo, and he got it tattooed a few weeks after. Great! Just great. I was a bit confused because my mom has always had blonde hair. The lady on that tattoo had black hair. But apparently, she had a short phase of dyeing her hair black for a few months. My mom always hated this tattoo. They almost broke up because of it back then. She made him swear that he was never going to tell anyone the story behind the tattoo. Hence why I didn't know anything about it, and I never asked. I thought this was just a random tattoo that he got on one of his many vacations. Well, now I have a tattoo of my mom in a coconut bra. Great. My mom told me that she doesn't mind, and it's kind of funny now, but I'm really thinking of getting it removed. At least it's on my rib cage, so I can hide it for the time being. I really don't want to show the world my mom in a bikini. Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's hopefully this will be one of those stories that OP can look at down the line and laugh, you know.
Yeah.
There was no ill intent here. It sounds like OP's mom is fine with it now.
Yeah.
And so, no harm, no foul.
I would say if OP's mom was now unfine with it, then that would be a good case to get it removed. But I think this is one of those situations where this is actually kind of like the perf tribute. I'm pretty sure their dad would find this absolutely hilarious, right? And I also, like, it has a really fun memory, right? Because, like, they spent time as children coloring in the tattoo. You know, they, interacted with their dad. And it's just kind of a shared memory. It's kind of a interesting thing. And it OP, in some ways, I wish they hadn't known the truth.
Yeah.
Because, like, if the aunt had never shared it, then OP wouldn't feel self-conscious about it, right? And I'm sure the mom would just laugh at it at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
So I can't blame OP for being uncomfortable with it, and really I think it's their choice at the end of the day whether or not they want to get it removed. But unless OP goes and divulges to everyone about the story, like they have on Reddit.
Well, like, it sounds like it's not even recognizable, so, like, if it doesn't look like the mom, nobody's going to be able to tell.
So I just don't think that this is going to be as big of a deal as OP is painting it as. But, it's at the end of the day, it's really up to OP whether to remove it or not.
Yeah.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Quest Taker says, best dad joke ever. And OP replies, his final dad joke, and dare I say, his best. And BD Canuck says, I can't decide if this is funnier if you are a man or a woman. But which are you? And OP replies, I'm a guy. And Lost in the Cape says, keep it. I also would like to see it. And OP replies, I want to ask my mom first if she's fine with me sharing the tattoo online. Even though it doesn't really look like her, it's still her tattoo. I'm going to see her tomorrow and ask if she is fine. And then I'm going to post a photo here if she is. And DVS 1978 says, Now get someone to sketch your dad in the same outfit and tattoo that next to your mom. And OP replies, honestly, that would be amazing. Now I kind of regret getting it on my ribs. It's going to be terrible getting that tattooed there. There's this one picture of my dad in my cousin's prom dress from a few years ago. She was very happy when she bought it, but then she was very self-conscious about wearing it because she didn't feel comfortable in her own body. My dad asked her if she's going to promise to wear it to prom if he wears it first. I know there's a picture of this somewhere on my aunt's phone. That would be a hilarious tattoo. I mean, I think it would be a hilarious tattoo.
Yes.
And Mean Parsnip says, he sounds like he was a great guy. And OP replies, he really was. I couldn't have wished for a better dad. And Super Light 47 says, you didn't mess up in the least. 40 years from now, you're going to have the best tattoo anyone could hope for. I guarantee it. And OP replies, I kind of regret not getting it as just line work tattoo. My kids could have colored it in one day, just like I did with my dad's tattoo. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my best friend that she's not allowed to use my bathroom unless she poops like a normal person? Okay, so this sounds wild, but just hear me out. A little while ago, I had a yeast infection from taking too many antibiotics. Super common, super annoying, but nothing serious. Got it treated, all good. Now, my best friend is dating this guy who gave her an STI. Also treatable, not the end of the world. But instead of admitting that he cheated, he told her that she probably got it from a toilet seat. Which, like, come on. That's not how STIs work. But she believed him. And now she is scared of toilet seats, especially mine, because she knows that I had that yeast infection, and apparently that means that I'm somehow a biohazard zone now. Well, anyways, a few days ago, I found out that she broke my toilet seat. And not just any cheap seat, I'm talking about a soft close, high quality, expensive kind of toilet seat. I was just like, how? She admitted that she squats on top of the toilet seat now with her feet up there, like she's camping in the woods or something like that. Because she is scared of catching germs from sitting down. She also was constipated, sat too long, and her legs went numb. She lost her balance, panicked, and grabbed the seat and broke the whole thing. And she hit her wrist or something in the process. But when she told me, I swear my first reaction was, oh my goodness, my toilet seat. Like, yeah, she hurt her hand, but all I could think about was my poor destroyed toilet seat. So yeah, I got mad. I told her that she has to pay for the new one, and that from now on, she's not allowed to use my bathroom unless she sits like a normal person. She called me dramatic and a germ gatekeeper, but, like, it's my toilet. I don't want it turned into a jungle gym. Then she got upset and said that I'm policing her pooping position and acting like I'm some medical expert just because I had a yeast infection one time and now I think that I'm a doctor. So now she's mad, I'm mad, and honestly the toilet seat died for nothing. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think OP is in the wrong for wanting compensation from the toilet seat, but I don't know how OP intends to police how she's using the toilet. I think that's a little much.
Well, I mean, honestly, actually, if you talk to experts, and I'm not an expert on pooping, so I mean, maybe I'm mistaken about this, but I believe squatting is actually a better position from what I've heard in literature.
I have no idea, but I think that works with certain types, like the hole in the floor types.
Yeah,
It
not
doesn't necessarily
perched on a toilet seat.
It doesn't work with modern toilets.
Yeah.
And I think with these, like, the toilet you have in your bathroom is designed for sitting.
Yeah.
And it will not go well if you do all these crouching and stuff.
I think that the friend needs to go to a therapist. This seems like it's kind of progressed from a normal type of fear to an irrational fear that is actually impacting her life and could get her seriously injured at that too, right? Mm-hmm. And she's lucky that she just hurt her wrist here, but like if you fall off a toilet seat like this, you could really injure yourself badly, right? And so I think that she needs to be educated on how you can catch infections. You can't catch yeast infections from a toilet seat, I don't believe, right? I don't think that's something that happens here, right?
Yeah.
Just like you can't catch, sexually transmitted infections from a toilet seat either. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is only going to hurt her because she's so afraid of, catching an infection that she's doing this, whole, I'm going to sit on the toilet seat like this type of situation.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, I get it. Like, germs can be scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also an alternative solution here that maybe she's not aware of. You can buy toilet seat covers, right? And they're just made of tissue paper. They're portable. You get them in these little wrappers, and you can peel them and then sit them on a toilet seat. So if she's really this worried about using other people's toilet seats, then she can bring along a tissue paper toilet seat like this. And it's kind of the best of both worlds. She can sit normally on a toilet seat, but she can also have that peace of mind that she's not going to get an infection or something like that, right?
Right. Not that you, again, get infections from
No,
toilet seats,
exactly.
just to be clear.
Yeah. I mean, I know that sounded like I was implying that you could. You can't, but it at least will give her the peace of mind, you know. Even if it's not going to do anything, it's at least peace of mind. And I mean, I think that that's worth a lot for somebody who is in a position of vulnerability like this.
Yeah.
And I hope she sincerely I just hope she dumped this guy.
Yeah.
I'm worried that she didn't.
Yeah.
I'm worried that she thinks that he didn't cheat even though he did.
Yeah, it's very clear what's going on here to everyone, probably but her.
Yeah. Also, one last kind of thing that I want to talk about. What do you think about OP's reaction here and their concern over the toilet seat over their friend's injury or health?
I mean, I think that OP, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you can't help how you react, but it does seem a little,
Callous?
yeah, to be more focused on the toilet seat. Like, I understand after the fact being upset about the toilet seat, but in the moment, I would think I'd be more concerned for the friend.
Yeah, I mean, if this had happened to me, I don't know how upset I would be in the moment about the toilet seat. I would be more concerned about the friend being all right. And I think that would concern me more. And, like, certainly it's not fun to have something of yours broken like this, but, I mean, friend's safety is more important than a toilet seat.
That's your new motto. You can put that on a mug.
Yeah.
Friend safety is more important than a toilet seat.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Plot twist, you're the villain.
I mean, I think Opie, like you said, was maybe a little callous, but I wouldn't say Opie's the villain.
Yeah. The boyfriend's the villain.
Yeah.
And Kawabungamon says, not the jerk. She knows that he lied, but she doesn't want to break up with him, so she chose to believe him. Drag her to the doctor and have them explain how STDs are transmitted. Hint, it's the S. And OP replies, STDs is from toilet seat transmitted disease, but with a silent toilet. And Kawabungamon says, silent toilet disease? And OP replies, toilet seat transmitted disease. And Library Wench says, not the jerk. Also, putting your feet on a toilet seat, gross. Freaks me out far more than a fairy tale catching an STD there. And OP replies, my bathroom is not a public one. I am a clean freak, so it's not as gross as you think. All right, folks, and our next letter is an update from a little while ago. Am I the jerk for giving terrible Christmas gifts and ruining my marriage? Hi everyone, I posted here a few months ago and everyone was super supportive. Thank you. I thought that I would send through an update and it's actually a positive one. Summary of the previous events that is the clownery of my life. My ex's family treated me like garbage for years. In my naivety, I told myself just to try harder. They uninvited me to Christmas for always ruining the family vibes. My ex decided to celebrate with family because his wife isn't family and left me to celebrate Christmas alone. I decided to return their expensive, thoughtful presents with cheap garbage ones as a final FU, and I moved out and filed for divorce. Ex can't afford the rent on the old apartment alone. The apartment is actually leased to his parents, and they demanded that I pay the remainder of the rent or they'll sue. My lawyer and I sue them. Turns out that the sublease was illegal, and they charged us, really me since my ex was a deadbeat, $200 extra per month that they pocketed. We notify the real landlord. My ex got an eviction notice. So I had our first, and it turns out only, mediation meeting with the in-laws about the excess rent that they were charging me and my ex a few weeks ago. The in-laws try to claim that they charged us extra for their role as property managers of the apartment. They couldn't explain in any way what they did as property managers to justify the fee of $200 a month, other than chatting with their son about the apartment several times per month. For example, charging us to talk to their own son. Then it came to the sublease being a verbal contract, since we never signed anything, and my lawyer asked on which date that I verbally agreed. I never did, actually, since my husband handled all those conversations with his parents prior to us moving in. They said that they couldn't remember, but since I moved in, obviously agreed to the arrangement that they had made for my ex. My lawyer told them that it sounds like any verbal contract was with their son, and given the terms were oral and unclear, that they would be too difficult and costly for them to enforce. And he added all that was moot, since they didn't have any authority to sublease it anyways, and their case wouldn't get any more than the 30 seconds that it would take for the judge to dismiss it. He then told them that we would be pursuing a lawsuit unless they settled on returning $6,200, and we'll give them time to discuss the deal with their lawyer. It was suing on the return of the excess, not the full rent, since I lived in the apartment. Well, within an hour, their lawyer called mine and agreed to a settlement of $5,400, since technically the little bit my ex paid for rent should have been a proportionate amount applied to some of that excess, and we agreed to it. My divorce lawyer also sent them a cease and desist letter about the harassment, warning them that if it continues, that I will file a restraining order and have plenty of evidence to have it granted. A lot of people have asked why I haven't done this already, but I'd rather not go nuclear unless I have to. My mother-in-law's job would be very likely affected if she has a restraining order, and she will just go scorched earth even harder. Thankfully, this seems to have been enough of a wake-up call for her in particular, and the texts and emails and voicemails have stopped entirely. I also learned from a mutual friend that my ex was already on a dating app for a few weeks after I left, but apparently nothing goes beyond the first date. I guess women don't want to get involved with a 33-year-old unemployed entrepreneur who lives with and lives off of both of his parents and is still chasing some elusive business that he hasn't been able to start up. Lol. All the communication with him has been through my lawyer except for 2 incidents. A few weeks ago, he called me at 3 a.m. completely drunk, leaving a voicemail asking to fix things. And then he called me the next day to apologize for that. I guess this will likely be my final update. Now I just have to wait for the divorce to be finalized and done. There is a huge weight off of my shoulders. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I'm glad that things are working out for OP, and that it seems like she's going to get out of this as cleanly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, what more could you possibly want out of this, for OP? Like, OP doesn't have to deal with these parents, their former in-laws, harassing them anymore. I mean, I'm glad that the lawyer drafted that cease and desist and threatened to get a restraining order, because it sounds like that was the motivation that she needed to leave OP alone, especially if her job is going to be impacted by that. And I think self-preservation is a powerful motivator, right?
yes, indeed.
And so, as for the husband, I mean, I think he's figured out that he's lost something valuable in his life, right? I mean, he took his wife for granted for so long, not realizing how much she did for him, right?
Yes.
And that's always a really bad place to be. If you are in a partnership and you start taking your partner for granted, then, I mean, you're going to kind of deserve to have whatever fallout comes from that, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think of the settlement that she got out of this?
I mean, I think it's good that she was able to get a settlement, and it's pretty close to the amount asked for. It's customary in settlements to have some back and forth, so you don't usually get the full amount. It seems like she got an amount that she's comfortable with and happy with, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also feel like the settlement kind of solidified her argument and her case here, and hopefully made the in-laws realize even more that how in the wrong that they are. And so I think that it really kind of, puts a nail in any of their arguments, at this point in time. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What do you call a stealth attack committed by Topiary?
Oh, I call that just a regular stealth attack, because every day when I walk down the street, Topiary jumps out at me from nowhere. And I, much like the Topiary, am fully armed and equipped to fight the Topiary off. We have a duel with me with my Topiary scissors and the Topiary with its running away. And this is a daily ritual for me, so I would call this a daily ritual.
An ambush.
An ambush. Very good. I like that.
And today is World Topiary Day and also World Baking Day.
So make sure that if you are walking down the streets that you're always equipped with Topiary scissors, because you never know when you're going to get ambushed. And I have Earl Grey. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Special Sunday, folks. And you know what makes it special? You do, and Amber does too.
And Brian does too.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it on, have it a hodgepodge for Hodgepodge Sunday, which normally is Hodgepodge Tuesday, for the one Hodgepodge Tuesday that we've had.
It's a good idea to double check the meanings of your tattoos before you get them. Also, be aware that you cannot contract STIs from toilet seats, and also be a good partner and don't treat your partner like they're just chump change and neglect them.
Yeah. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!